Thursday from CafeFuel, the 9-step system that will show you everything you need to know to use the internet to grow your restaurant. My name is Brian Devine, and today we are talking about restaurant reputation marketing, not management. And why are we making that distinction? Because, well, it matters. Because if what you are focusing on is managing your reputation, you can't make money from it. But if you market with your reputation, it can be extremely, extremely profitable. So let's get a little context here. We're going to show you the 9-step system here. And you'll see that real-time reputation there. That is number 2 in our foundational process. And that's why we are talking about it today, because it really is vital. It's important that you have a system in place to do a couple of things. Number 1, get those reviews. So if you just count on people to think of you and think to give you a review, you're likely to get more negative reviews than positive reviews. That means that you want to have a process in place by which you will get more reviews and hopefully more positive reviews. Now, one of the things that happens is that, these companies like mine, we all kind of debate over what's right and wrong and how you're going to get reviews. And are you allowed to gate? Meaning if somebody leaves you a 3-star or less, do you give them the option to leave that anywhere else? And, Google and all the other social media places and search engines, they tell you not to do that. But the reality is they can't tell if you are or if you are not, if it's being done right. That means that you are asking for somebody's feedback over, like through a text, through their phone, not like directly in some kind of a format in your restaurant, right? You want it to actually be on their phone so that they are in their accounts when they do this. But you can still get in front of it and say, basically ask them if they're happy. And if they say no, you take them someplace where they can vent and tell you how bad it was. But then you can go make it right, and it's not out in front of the world. But if things are going great, then you can ask them to then share it with the world. So number 2, right? So that's number 1, is have a system to get those positive reviews. Number 2 is ask for feedback, not reviews. And why do we do this? Because when you ask people to leave your review, you're putting them out, right? You're asking them to do something that's kind of a pain. It's going to take some time. They have to think about it. So you're asking them to take a step that they might not want to make. However, if you ask for someone to share their feedback or opinion, everybody wants to do that. So by changing that language, you are more likely to get more reviews. And it is just a great, great way to do it. Now, number 3 is the whole point here, market the reviews. If you just get them and then hope that someone finds them or looks for them, then you're really not taking full advantage. What am I talking about? I'm talking about taking your review and making sure that it's somewhere on your website. And, we have this little tool that will pop up your reviews in the lower left-hand or right-hand corner, and depending on how you're seeing this. So you can have those reviews showing up. So even if someone's not looking for them, you're giving them to them. And by doing this well, you are also putting it in front of people and letting them know these are real reviews. These are on Google. These are on Facebook, on Yelp, wherever it is that we're pulling reviews to put them on your website. You want to make sure that they can then go to the review on that platform. So they're not just seeing it on your website. So that means that when you have like a page of all the reviews that you've accumulated over the years and you put it on your website, it's not nearly as valuable or as important or as relevant to people these days. So the whole point here is to market those reviews. So on your website, on your social media, and then you might be thinking, well, I got my review on Facebook. Well, if you don't then turn that into a post, no one's going to see it unless they look for it. So you have to go out of your way to market that review. And then obviously turning it into an image is extremely valuable so that you can then use that over and over and over again. And why use it over and over again? Well, if you are not getting reviews on a consistent basis, then at least you have an opportunity to put it in front of people over and over again. And the reason I say over and over again is because the average person is not seeing your feed, meaning when you put your content on Facebook especially, the person who you are hoping is going to see it probably isn't, because Facebook doesn't show Facebook page posts at a very high rate. It's anywhere from on the low end 2 to 3%, on the high end 5 to 7%. That means that if you're not paying for people to see your posts on Facebook, they're really not seeing it. So use it over and over again. That way you don't have to pay, but you're more likely to get, those people to see it. And then finally, if you can, turn the review into a video. And that can be as simple as taking a couple of reviews and making a slideshow. It can take one review and put like a nice kind of intro in front of it. Here's the review, and then an exit bumper that we call it, so that you can have your information so they can contact you. But what we're talking about here is actually utilizing the reviews you get to market your business, to get more people to come in. And what we know is that when reviews are fresh and relevant, they have more weight than ones that are old. And that means that you don't want to do like a big push, like, hey, let's get 100 reviews by the end of the month. Don't do that. There's very little value to that in the long run. It might make you feel good at first and it might look really cool for a while, but if you don't consistently do it, Google is going to basically say, hey, you're cheating the system, and they're going to start pushing you down in search results, especially for the map results, which is what you want, right? You want to be in that map when somebody says, Italian restaurant near me, or, a Mexican restaurant near me, or whatever type of restaurant, and they're really close to you, you want to show up there. And with what Google is doing with their new radius algorithm, you have to be really close to people now in order to show up at all. So make sure that you're taking full advantage of all of it so that you have video, that you have images, that you have the actual reviews, that you are marketing with them, and that you have a system in place to do that. All right, that's all I wanted to cover today. I hope you found some value in it, and look forward to seeing you next time on Think Tank Thursday with CafeFuel. That's it for me. Bye for now. There it goes.